Right then, everyone. Another podcast. I'm here with Benno, Benethan, the legend.
Thanks. Yeah, I do it.
So, today we're going to be talking about advertising. So, Ben, he's at university and he's been studying advertising for the better part of 20 years now. The last couple of years.
Last year and a half.
Yeah, so what made you want to do that then instead of anything else? Because you're quite an academic smart bloke, so what made you choose advertising over other shit?
Well, I mean, you say that, and I suppose I kind of give off that impression, but to be honest, I kind of hate, exams and essays and all that rubbish, you know.
Really?
Didn't really feel like... Yeah, it just felt like, for me, exams are like memory tests, so I don't think they actually test, I don't think they actually test how intelligent people are. I think they just kind of, revise for 2 weeks before, and, you know. But the course I do is it's all creative and stuff. So you basically just mark on how well you're able to come up with a certain idea, as opposed to remembering how electrons work and stuff. You know.
Interesting. I've had a lot of discussions with people about academic stuff, not on the podcast, but just in general life, and that I've never heard anyone bring up that point before. I mean, in reality, it's just a memory test. You know, I never thought of it like that before. I just thought these people are so intelligent. They've spent so much time paying attention to everything that's said and read all these books, and they can make. The thing is, though, it isn't all just like ticking or circling a box like it is in because I know in America a lot of that is just ticking and circling a box. But in England, you have to write loads and loads and loads of paragraphs about things. But I suppose if you know about those specific things and they're quite straightforward, then you know.
Yeah.
It isn't too hard. What always trumped me with exams though is that I've heard that some people circling answers they would just skip because they didn't know, but you've got a good chance that you'll get it right if you just circle the right answer. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
Or you can just waffle and throw a load of shit at the wall and hopefully something sticks and you get a mark. I don't know, but yeah, very interesting. So what have you learnt about advertising? Because I'm going to waffle on for a few seconds here. I heard with things like accountancy. I know this has nothing to do with advertising, but people do apprenticeships, and they learn quite a bit on these apprenticeships, and they learn what it's like in the real world. But at uni, you're just reading out of a book for 3 years, and then you're just dumped in the real world, and you're like, shit, what the fuck do I do? But I suppose if you've had good work experience or made good contacts in these different industries, then then the jobs are good, isn't it?
Yeah, our course isn't really one of those kind of give you a degree and it's bye, see, you know, fuck off now. It's more kind of we're supposed to get obviously a degree mark and do a dissertation and all that, but a lot of it is focused on making a portfolio and preparing us for actual ad agency stuff.
Mm-hmm. So have you made many contacts yet?
Not many, but I've met people from my agencies and stuff, and I think they've got my name. So.
Oh, sick! What have you done to make yourself sort of stand out?
Well, we basically had to pitch to an agency in Bristol, and I remember the team I worked in, we got an award for surprising them with one idea that was a bit probably can't repeat it on the podcast, but it was a bit out there, but it kind of caught their attention, which I think is what they wanted. You know?
Fair enough. So, did you win any awards for that idea, or?
Yeah, we kind of got it wasn't a proper industry award because we're still in uni, but it was give us a box of chocolates, and you're yeah, well done.
So, do you prefer working on your own or working with a big group of people?
Well, we kind of usually work in a partnership kind of thing, which I prefer because I don't like doing the visuals for an ad, all the Photoshop and Illustrator and stuff. I mean, I don't dislike it, but I focus more on the words, the kind of message and stuff.
Do you prefer being the idea man rather than laying all the shit out?
Yeah, that's me in a nutshell, really.
Fair enough. Yeah. We're working in groups, though. Don't you think sometimes, if you have an idea and then 3 other people tamper with that idea, sometimes it can become a little bit plain and basic and not what you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the thing, because sometimes we speak to our lecturers who call themselves the creative directors, I guess, trying to mirror they're trying to mirror an actual agency. But sometimes they can like change an idea or get their fingers in. And most of the time it's good. But sometimes you have an idea that you want so badly to make it to the final stage that just doesn't.
Yeah. So like the teachers do help quite a bit. Then their inputs like good.
Oh yeah. They wouldn't they're genuinely out there giving advice on how to get the best submission because they want everyone to do well.
That's quite good because you get a lot of. So have a lot of these teachers like worked in advertising before? Or did they just get a degree and then become a university?
I think pretty much all of them that teach me have, except for one who's like, well, I say that, but he's an illustrator, so he's worked in illustration and he teaches us how to illustrate things.
Oh, what does that mean? Like drawing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I've got to be careful what I say. I was about to slag him off. But,
no, don't bring up their names or anything. I'm just interested. Like what? So have they worked on any big adverts or anything, or any big advertising campaigns?
Oh yeah, I mean, like the head of the course, who basically just got that job this year because the last head of the course left. He still works in advertising in the summer. Like he'll freelance as an art director.
Anything big though? Anything big like that's been heard of? Like the Meerkats or the Go Compare? or Winston Wolfe?
It's not off. I can't name anything off the top of my head that's like massive. But the person who came up with the Go Compare man, he graduated from my uni in my course.
Fair play.
He did the same course as me, which is pretty.
Is he loaded now?
Whatever gender it was.
Is he loaded now?
I don't know how it works. I'd hope so, but I guess it might be the agency that got all the credit for it. So
probably, but you got to think though, this would get his name in the hat, and then people will listen to his ideas more.
You can put that on your CV and ride it all the way to the bank. But,
because even though these people have just come up with one idea, if they say if they put on their CV, I came up with this advert, these are my references, I've got 100k. Well, you won't put you got 100k for it, but maybe they could have got 500k. I don't know, because the problem is you don't know how much money they have to offer, how much they like this idea.
You get a promotion if you work on that like that. Trust me.
You get a big promotion. Fair.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, sure. I guess it's good that the teachers know what they're doing and that people there have been that the person who came up with the Go Compare advert did the exact same course you're doing. But I've got a funny story. I know this has nothing to do with advertising, but when I was at college doing media, I'm not mentioning any names obviously, but a lot of the teachers, one of them had worked in journalism, loads and loads and loads, so fair play to that person. And another person had been on quite a few film sets and filmed quite a few concerts and performances and a few little films, but that's it really. The rest of them had just been to uni. They was like in their 20s and all that. One person who worked there, who I never had as a teacher, but he'd worked on quite a few things. He was a big freelance person. And the thing is, with freelance and all, I don't mean like doing a couple of freebies and doing things in your off time. I mean properly dedicating to it. So like if you're a teacher and you do freelance, that's just like bits and bobs. But I mean like if you're properly dedicating to freelancing, that shows that you've actually been in the industry and you've gone to loads and loads of different shoots.
Yeah.
And loads of different things, But yeah, and the thing is obviously I don't mind people with normal jobs just freelancing and doing their own things once in a while. But if you're supposed to be a teacher and all you've done is go to uni and you do little bits and bobs, I know teaching is a fairly hard job, but still, you should really be trying to, have loads of knowledge already and actually going out there and doing things rather than just, as I said earlier, reading from a book for 3 years and then thinking, oh shit, I know what I'm doing. The problem is on a lot of these courses as well, especially some of the creative ones, a lot of people don't give a fuck. They just do it because they think it's something really, really easy, A lot of people don't really care.
Yeah, I think it's...
A lot of people like that on your course, would you say, or are they really passionate about it, or are they sort of middle ground?
To be fair, I don't think everyone would. I don't think that's the case for everyone at the start. But as people go through the course, I think they go on agency trips and they work on really good briefs and they think, okay, yeah, this is cool. I might want to do this, Or I should hope they want to do this if they're doing a degree for it. But
yeah.
It does grow on people.
you know, with uni and degrees and all that, would you say, I'm not saying like you'd be worried, but you know how so many people are going to uni and it seems like a few of them are trying to avoid work and get that big cheeky uni loan. Do you think, you know, are you sort of worried that you might have to do like a master's or a PhD? Or do you just think, I'll just get this degree, it'll give me all the contacts and the experience and then I'm in the clear?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's generally. I think I know my the head of the course did a masters, I think, but I don't think that's necessarily the path for everybody.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't really know what kind of a master's degree opens up in terms of creative stuff. Because
Yeah.
I know if like you want to be like a doctor or like a lawyer or something, then it's obviously quite good.
But in advertising, I suppose there wouldn't be. So what sort of job are you going to go for then once you finish it? Once you finish uni?
Well, I'm going to try to get a job as a copywriter, which is basically someone who comes up with the words and the slogan and the voice of the ad, I guess.
Mm. So, is that well paid, or is that sort of, if you do really good, you get a big check and then that's it for a few
There's
months?
room for at the beginning. It's basically like your standard kind of starter job in terms of salary, but
Okay.
there's definitely room for you know, growth and stuff. So.
Are there many advertising apprenticeships about, or?
Typically, it works in the kind of idea that like it's more like internships, I think, and then you build your way up.
Mm.
Hopefully, I mean, that might be where I am in when I graduate, so it'll be a bit. I have to rely on my savings for a while, but you know, it's all a push to get to that like, you know, because it's all about like coming up with ideas. They don't just hire anybody; they have to like vet people and see what kind of work they've come up with in the past few years, and you know.
So obviously with a lot of this creative stuff then, there's a lot of show reels and portfolios and all that. So
Yeah.
with advertising, is it all just paper based, like pictures and slogans, or have you got a lot of videos in your show reel as well as video adverts, or like what? How does that work?
Yes, I mean it's funny you should mention that because like the module I'm doing as I go back is video storytelling, so we'll be branching out into like video ads because I mean at the start of the course they taught us about print ads, you know, magazine and that stuff, all the old like classic formats because that's how everyone learns at the beginning. But nowadays, you know, video ads are like way more relevant, so that's what everyone will end up doing anyway. So we're kind of turning into that, you know.
Yeah. So are you like teaming up with the film students or any of them people,
Uh,
or are you doing all the
yeah,
films yourselves?
I think there actually is a plan to like collaborate with the TV students. I think at one point, I don't know if it's film.
Are you
But,
going to be the actors yourselves, or are you going to try and get the drama students involved as well?
it's a good point. I think there's the drama society, which we kind of like, which always gets like poached for members by the film students and stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, sometimes it doesn't even require a fucking actor, you know. Like one time, it was I was doing something for a Kit Kat, and we got to do a video ad, and it was basically just all mine was just like a screen capture of a Google search, and it was someone like typing in really like just like they'd start typing out something like new job, you know, listing in Birmingham, and then by the end it would just be like, you know, like get rich quick schemes and how to frame your box for murder and all that stuff. It's gradually going mad. And
Okay.
the
And
slogan at the end,
that was the video advert then.
yeah, and the
Just
slogan was Kit Kat, keep your fingers out of trouble.
You know, fair dues. That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
What sort is that on YouTube then? Has that got far? Have Kit Kat used it, or was it just a little experimental thing?
It's up on YouTube, but it's unlisted. Just because at first I wasn't really sure how to do it if like you're doing a kind of hypothetical ad, like they haven't obviously hired me to make it.
Yeah.
But then I found out that.
But you can say it's like you can say, "Oh, I don't own any of this. This is just for a laugh."
Yeah. Well, I mean, I found out that my like head lecturer or whatever, he when he freelances, if he likes a company or a brand that he kind of discovers, he'll do a spec ad, like a speculation ad or whatever, and he'll just like put it on Instagram and like mention that company or brand and be like, hey, I made a couple ads, they're yours if you want them, you know, which I think is it's pretty.
They're
cool,
yours if you want them. Does he get paid
yeah.
for it then? Do they pay him?
I imagine sometimes, yeah.
Ah, fair play.
Because that's all it is at the end of the day, getting your name out there. And
So is he actually? Sorry. So is
Oh,
he
that's all right.
actually going out there and filming things, or is it just similar typing things to that Kit Kat advert?
Yeah, well, I mean, as an art director, he'll like come up with the storyboards and stuff. He doesn't actually like he won't film it just because that's handed to like production companies
Oh,
and
so
stuff.
it's just the storyboards. Here's my idea. Do you want it? Yes or no? Blah blah, and then bish bosh bang.
Yeah,
A bit of cash.
yeah,
Bish bosh, a bit of dosh. So yeah, as you
yeah.
were saying before I cut you off,
Right.
it's about putting your name out there, isn't it? As you said.
Yeah, something I've got to start doing in the next year or so. So that'll be fun.
You got any decent ideas to put your name out there? As you've got those contacts who were happy with you and your group, would you reach out to them or just try and find new people and say, "This is my show reel. This is the shit I got"? Or
Yeah, well, I mean, at the moment we've been working on doing CV and portfolio, and our CV has to be like creatively designed, so it can't just be like black and white text and stuff. Um, and no, some people have done some like crazy things just to get like a placement, not even a job, just to get a placement.
what sort of
Like
what
like
sort of
there's an agency in Bristol called McCann Bristol, you know, which is a big international thing. So they've got branches in New York and I think London and stuff. And some girl basically like painted herself gold and stood outside their agency as a statue all day, waiting for someone to like walk outside and notice her. And that got her a placement.
I was about to
I
ask, did
hope.
it get her anywhere?
Yeah, it did in the end. I mean, I'd be worried if it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, at least it paid off and it got her somewhere. I mean, fair play. What was she doing before that then? What was her job?
I don't know. I guess she'd graduated from somewhere. Might have been. I don't think it was. Actually, yeah, it might have been Gloucester. Actually, yeah, because I saw it on the kind of like alumni page or whatever.
So do you reckon she's on Mad Money now then, or?
At the moment, probably not, but it's a
But
good
she's working her
agency,
way
so
up. Yeah.
maybe, you know.
So how far have you had to travel then for these like little things? You know, did the uni say, oh, you get these days, or did you have to do it in your holidays, like the 2 weeks or the 1 week off when you went to Bristol to do shit, or did the
We
company from
basically
Bristol
just
come
had
to
that on
you?
the same. Oh, sorry. We basically had that on the same day as the lecture for that module.
So wait,
We have to pay for train tickets ourselves, which is a bit, you know. What are
so
you
you
gonna
went to the lecture, then took the train to Bristol, and then
do? Yeah, well, it was in place of the lecture, so we just did it on that day.
oh, so you went to Bristol for the lecture, and then
Yeah.
oh, fair dues then. How early did you have to get up for that shit, man?
Oh, it was like, well, the train was at 7:52, so like 6:30, I guess.
Fair dues. Pretty ballsy, but it paid off, didn't it? They was impressed with your
At the end of the day, it paid off just because I left that day having like been noticed for my work, thinking, yeah, this is good. You put in the effort and you put in the grind and you get the rewards back. So it's good.
yeah. But I suppose in the advertising game and in a lot of games, really, you know, a lot of business things, you've got to be prepared that it doesn't pay off in the end and that you've done all that hard work for nothing. But you just have to keep grafting
Oh yeah.
until
I mean,
something comes into fruition.
that was the case for like 4 other teams that didn't get noticed. But
What? Did they deserve not to get noticed, or did you think they deserve a bit of credit for this?
it's the thing is that everyone tries their best and everyone puts out ideas they've worked on. But at the end of the day, it's a tough world out there. Some ideas will just be better than others. I don't think
Really
ours
is.
was. I mean, ours wasn't the best, but it was. I think it was. It was noteworthy in one aspect enough that
Was it presented in a good way?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it wasn't a very long presentation just because our idea kind of spoke for itself.
Yeah.
But we were marked on presentations, so other people who didn't do so well on that might, their idea might have been good, but they might get back and find out they've not got it first because their presentation wasn't very good.
Yeah. So, what are your favourite adverts then?
Ooh, man, that's a question because heck, well, the thing is, I might as well say this as like context then. Is that the way I got into advertising was because I don't know, you've heard of like public information films and like public service announcements.
PSAs, yeah.
Yeah, so like government ads that are like made, like the ones made in the 80s in America for like the war on drugs, stuff like that.
I haven't actually watched them. No, I haven't actually watched them. I probably have, but I can't remember. The only PSAs I can think of are the red versus blue PSAs. But yeah.
No, yeah, to be fair, they are funny because they're like parodying. But the ones in Britain are like Think and Bernardo's and
So like
RSPCA and NSPCC.
So like though the be careful on the road. Be careful. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Be careful. Don't do drugs and all that malarkey.
Yeah. So like government and charity ads basically.
Oh yeah, fair enough then.
A real favourite of mine from the past few years is a PIF that was made for like a homeless charity, and it was basically a guy with a sandwich board on, walking around with like a collection bucket, whatever, and on the sandwich board said "fuck the poor," and obviously everyone was like, it's like, what did he just say, "fuck the poor"? So they were walking up to him, and people were challenging him, like people who'd been homeless before, students, all that stuff, And a police officer walks up to him and says, "That's offensive. You need to take it down."
Yeah.
And as it fades to black, and it says something like, "We know you care." And then it cuts to the same scene, except the man's wearing the same sign. It just says "Help the poor," and like no one's talking to him. People just walk past him.
Oh, so it's like trying to say how shocking things we all pay attention to because they're edgy and mental, but then some at basic, some at that is, common knowledge. We're like, forget it.
Yeah, I think it is. It's like a social experiment that kind of proves that people are only really willing to pay attention to issues if it's like really shocking, really unsettling. But they'll walk past homeless people every day and not give money or not really think twice about it. And obviously, everyone has their different issues on that. But I think for the sake of like a social experiment, I think it's really interesting. And I'd love to kind of like write an ad like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a hard one, you see, because with helping homeless people, I think companies should sponsor the homeless to wear their stuff, like Carl Pilkington said. I really agree with that. Yeah. Everyone's a winner, as he said. If the company sponsored the homeless, then they could pay them.
Yeah, good old Carl.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I watched it last night, and it was pretty funny.
Which one were you watching?
The first 2 episodes of season 2, I think.
Oh, what happened in them? Was that the film idea?
I think he becomes a personal driver, doesn't he?
Personal
maybe
driver.
Too. But, yeah.
Nah, the Ricky Gervais show is just class. But yeah, with helping homeless people, sometimes I think like when they've got a dog, I really think about it. Sometimes give 50p, sometimes a quid maybe. It depends on the situation really. And it depends where you are. If I'm in a really crap area, the thing is, if you're in a really built-up city and you see a homeless person, you just walk in as fast as you can, because I don't want to be in a crap city where there's loads of crime and all this stuff. I want to just get to where I need to get to and get on with it. Obviously, I've rarely been in city centres or anything, but and there's loads of people, so surely as there's way more people, they're bound to donate to the homeless and all that. But then if you're in like a suburban area, like in Devon in the past, I've seen homeless people, and as you're walking around looking at the nice things, walking more slowly, you think, I might as well give them a quid. Or if they've got a dog, I might think to myself, man, they've got to feed that dog as well as them, I'll give them a quid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they say nowadays, don't they, that you're not supposed to, like, instead of giving money directly to them, give money to shelters, because at least then there's a guarantee that they'll be getting, like, warm food and, like, a good drink.
That is a really good point, because I suppose if you just give to random homeless people, you don't know who they are, they could be just wasting it on drugs.
Could be killing themselves, yeah.
Yeah, so you could, but the thing is, it's out of goodwill. It's not to make them kill themselves.
You
don't say to them, go and buy this cocaine. You just think,
when I'm walking.
You think, they might be just wanting to buy some food. That's why I give them the money. Not, they're going to buy some cocaine. I'll just help them buy it.
Oh yeah. When I'm walking, like, and I see someone asking for change, usually I'll if I have change on me, I'll be like, yeah, sure, here you go, just 'cause. Yeah.
So what do you think of these like really crazy adverts though? Like Go Compare, the Meerkat one. What was that other weird one? Some of these animated crazy ones.
Like
carinsurance.com. You know, get your car.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
2D animated one. And
that's the thing. So a lecturer told me once is that the reality is that obviously a lot of things get advertised, but the majority of advertising goes towards things like insurance and casinos and stuff, and it's like okay.
Yeah. And smart old Bluey took the Milky Way. That was an amazing.
Oh yeah. And like fast moving. Oh yeah, products that people buy all the time, like chocolate bars and loo roll and stuff. We call fast-moving consumer goods, so FMCGs, and because that's the brief. Those are the briefs that most of us are given because it's a bit more light-hearted than life insurance or gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like other favorite ads I have that aren't like PIFs and stuff. I think I don't know if you remember that one that ran for Hellman's a few years back. But it had Brian Blessed in it, and because they're all talking about their idea of a perfect sandwich, and in the end, Hellman's are like, "You make the sandwich, we just perfect it, or we add to it."
I can't remember it that well.
Oh man, it's just someone who says something about plum, and Brian Blessed goes, "Plum, man alive, what about big tomatoes?" Yeah. And it gets me every time.
Do you remember the one about the Spanish puppets with the with their food? Or Italian?
I don't remember that. No.
Don't you? Oh, look it up. I'll send you a picture. You've got to have seen this. Hold on. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah. And another one is the Rubicon one with he liked the mango, she liked the mango. Yeah. Just because it's one of those things where it's just a bit of fun, really.
Yeah. Some adverts are total banter, aren't they? And you don't really think to yourself, oh, this is what the advert's about. You think, oh, this is quite cool. Oh, I can't find that bloody Spanish advert.
What was it for? Was it like?
It was sort of like Italian food. It was sort of like some sort of soup or topping, or I can't.
Yeah, it does kind of ring a bell. But...
I've looked it up and it isn't coming up with the things I can think of. They're not like puppets that you put your hand in. They're sort of like string on a string.
Okay.
And they're always in a house, and it's a family of people. I mean, it's a family of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't find it, man. For goodness sake. Churchill was quite a good advert though. He was good, the Churchill dog. The meerkats, they was cool. You know, a lot of these adverts, as I say, it's not really. They're just recognisable. You don't really know that it's car insurance or cinema tickets or whatever. You just think, shit, I'll recognise them. Do you remember the baboon or the gorilla on the drums for the Campris advert?
Yeah. Oh, it's funny you should mention that because that is Head of the Course. That is I'm pretty sure that's his favourite ad, and it's the one that he always uses to kind of get people into the course. Because also remember the ad with the gorilla on the drums? That's what advertising should be. You know, he's always very. So I mean, I like that. You know.
Yeah, just out there and crazy.
Yeah, and I think for a course called creative advertising, it's like, hey, it's creative.
Can I tell you some adverts I really don't like? I don't like the bloody.
Oh yeah, sure.
Philip Schofield being in every bloody advert. What is the bloke doing? Yeah. He's meant to be on the news. Why is he? It's just I don't. Yeah, I mean, bloody. I don't even get why people find him so funny. I shouldn't be going on a rant about celebrities. I'm sure he seems like a really nice bloke.
Yeah, it's funny you should bring that up because it's something that I've found a bit annoying the past couple of days. Because I've obviously been home from uni.
Salad in a pasty, you filthy pervert! Honestly, just.
Yeah, all I've had to do is basically watch TV, I guess. And what I found is that a lot of ads will use this as basically there's a thing called borrowed interest. And what this basically is when an ad will use a celebrity, or it will bring in a character from a movie or a movie's tone and setting, you know, as a way of kind of avoiding having to come up with their own idea.
Yeah.
So at the moment, DFS are doing it with Wallace and Gromit, but
the sad thing is though, the thing I don't get is that bloody Peter Sallis passed away a year ago, didn't he? So why are they using Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah.
Who's voicing Wallace now?
To be fair, a different guy's been voicing him since A Matter of Life and Death, I think.
Really? Oh, I thought it was always Peter Sallis still.
No, I mean, the new guy does a good job, doesn't he, really, if he can't sell that much. But,
Yeah, I didn't realise, so fair play to that new guy.
yeah. The one I couldn't stand at all was the Walkers ad at Christmas, where it's just Mariah Carey. And I thought, okay, this person's entire existence is just Christmas. I think it's very... I don't get why that should make me buy Walkers, you know?
Yeah, I don't get why that bloody footballer is in all those Walkers advert. I mean, what is he playing at?
Oh, yeah. What is it? As in, like, Gary Lineker? Or...
That's him, yeah. I don't know what he's playing at, man. I know he's meant to be a really good footballer, but come on.
It got old, but the very first ad they did with him, where he kept stealing that child's crisps because of how good they tasted, I think that was one for the books.
I don't even remember that because he's been in so many adverts.
No, that was like years. I'm talking before we were born, probably. That was.
It just bloody moulds into one. It just bloody moulds into one pile of shit. I just, I love Harvey Keitel being in the Direct Line adverts though, because he's just always Winston Wolfe, I solve problems. Like we love that character. It's like from the best film of all time, you know. Yeah. In my opinion, anyway, Pulp Fiction is, and it's just class. But bloody seeing Philip Schofield bloody playing with a dog or going down a zip line or going, it's like, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. They all start out with like an idea, but in the end, like. They'll just kind of companies or ad agencies or whoever's running the show will just continue to use those ideas because it works so well.
But bloody, they should do one where they keep slagging off other products. So they say this product, Carl Pilkington says bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Then he says, now this is quite good actually, and then it just ends there. That would be a class one, wouldn't it?
Oh mate, I don't know why Carl doesn't do voiceovers, man. That is just no.
He should.
Hearing him say, buy a Mars bar, Yeah. That would sell. Especially because there's a renewed interest in like the podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, because they did a live stream the other day when he was talking about Sick of It too. It wasn't Ricky and Steve, it was some other geezer talking to Carl about it. Yeah. But there was something else. You know, with that Mars bar stuff, do you think he was justified in stealing that Mars bar? I mean, I'm trying not to swear as much on the podcast. I was going to say I effing do, but I really think he was. Because people who work as paper routes, they get treated like shit. They have to get up at 4, do all this shit, then bloody go to school all day, then they might do it again on the night. It's so unfair how the bloody shop owners basically pay them nothing. And it's like, and if Pilkington didn't steal that Mars bar, as he said, 5p profit. I'm not promoting Steam, but come on, he's getting paid nothing. It's one Mars bar. The shop owner's making loads and loads. It's so unfair, man.
Yeah, no, I think so. But I mean, there was that thing about him, Ricky and Steve was telling the story about how he had found someone's wallet and he posted it back to them, but he'd taken like 30 quid out as like a reward.
I absolutely hate that. Steve was just the tightest idiot.
And I think Carl was agreeing with him, but Ricky was like, no, that's not okay.
It isn't okay because I mean, it's good that he emailed the wallet back, but Steve's a bloody millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire. He's got like 20 million quid. What?
Yeah, money for old rope adverts,
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when he was getting obsessed over that, he's like, "Carl, that was voiceover work." But it's like, come on, you're a millionaire. Does it matter? Carl should have got the call back for you. Well, okay, he wasn't. He didn't have 20 million back then, but he was probably on like 900k back then. Let's be honest. He didn't need an extra grand. It wasn't a big deal.
He's bulging with imagined riches.
Yeah.
It's true. That's
To be honest, Carl Pilkington, he's only on like 3 million, and he's brought Ricky and Steve so much attention. Crazy, but I suppose they put the effort into promoting him. But it's like, oh, bro, come on, man. You remember about the 50p debate between Carl and Steve?
So oh my god, that was legendary. Yeah.
I owed you 50p, and you said, oh, it's only 50p, but that's not your decision. I need a 50p. But then it's like, Carl got you a free keg of beer, you fool. That was like 3 quid. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. I don't get how people can be that tight. But there you go. I suppose some people get greedy and they just want more and more and more and they can't get enough, can they?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Did I ask you what your least favourite adverts were?
Oh, you haven't, but I've got one.
Go on then, go, because I talked about the Philip Schofield. I don't like how they keep having celebrities in. It's nothing really against Philip Schofield. I'm not a big fan, because when you see the same people on telly all the time on this one channel, it's all right. But I just prefer. I know there's those other two people on Good Morning ITV who I actually really like them, but Philip Schofield, I don't know. It's just everyone seems to love him, but he's just not really for me. You know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't have anything against the bloke. I don't wish anything bad upon him. He's just not for me.
Local podcaster threatens Philip Schofield with death.
Oh yeah. But I talked about how I don't like celebrities on there. So what are your least favourite ads?
Well, I mean, obviously I didn't like the Mariah Carey one, but it's not one I hate. It's just one I think is just a load of rubbish and should be skipped over. The one I absolutely hated, I remember this actually, like, it filled me with, like, vitriol, like, seeing it on TV. I didn't like it that much. Was the one for Haribo, where it was, like, the people, like, they were adults, but they were talking with a children's voice. And I'm sorry, but it just annoyed me so much. It, like, shook me to my core.
Yeah, it was just cringe, wasn't it?
It's just, just hearing the children's voices and like thinking, who out there thinks this is funny? You know, this is just.
I think Jar Jar Binks was more entertaining than that.
Yeah.
But
it's just
rubbish.
I don't know. That was one of those times where it's like, that was my origin story. I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna write a better fucking Haribo ad than these guys.
Any other adverts that you were like, bro? What is this?
There's it's okay. It's not one that I hate, but I think it's one that's like is trying to be so serious that it's been like parodied a million times. And it's I was talking about the war on drugs. It was kind of just after that in America, and it was the woman who cracked an egg into a frying pan and said, "This is your brain on drugs." And then she starts throwing the frying pan around and says, "This is your family, this is your life, this is your car," you know. And I think it's the amount that people have like made fun of it. Like there was one on Robot Chicken where the woman basically starts going on a rampage through town like a school shooter.
Jeez.
and this is your mortgage, and this is, you know.
Flipping it. Well, it is what it is, isn't it? I was going to ask another question, but it just totally went out my mind. I do remember this one thing I was going to ask though, about adverts being misleading and YouTube adverts, you know. I really don't like how they show. I know this is how YouTubers make money and all that, but an advert in every single video. I remember at one point some YouTubers just had adverts in the description. You know, isn't that enough? Isn't that enough? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Does there have to be like a bloody advert at the start of every single video?
To be honest, nowadays the restriction on YouTube's guidelines for people actually like able to have ads in their video because of like supposedly like bad, you know.
Yeah,
content,
because Boogie can't do Francis videos anymore because Francis swears so much.
Oh yeah.
And that's why he can't make any money on those specific videos. So they're like, no, you can't have any money with this because he's swearing in it. We just want to appeal to kids. Stupid.
Well, well, I mean, YouTubers usually nowadays go for like Patreons just because they can actually make money for that rather than relying on like ads, because YouTube might turn around one day and say, hey, you know, this video you've been working on for like 2 weeks or whatever, you're not going to get any money from it. So it's
well,
rubbish. But I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen that YouTuber, like I'm just cringing saying his name, but Morgs.
Oh like, no, yeah, we've talked about him a lot before.
He's a cursed YouTuber for like fucking. I imagine the people who watch him are like no older than like 12. But I saw a screenshot of one of his videos the other day because someone was showing me one of the comments that they found funny. And you know where it shows you the little yellow lines where the ads are? Yeah. There was literally, I'm not even exaggerating here, there were like 16 ads.
No, yeah, I've seen it before, yeah. That he makes his videos ridiculously long so he can have so many adverts and make so much money.
I think that, I mean, personally, obviously it doesn't really affect me, but I think that's so disgusting considering there are like kids on tablets and stuff. It just, you know, it just feels really like dishonest and like not the kind of content you want to put in front of your kids.
Because it's a really, really impressionable audience, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, in reality, as I've said before, with this kind of stuff, you know, it is the parents who need to get involved and do more things. A friend of mine was telling me how his kid, he always, you know, he was telling me how he lets him go on the iPad for half an hour, and then he says, off the iPad now.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when I'm at work, I see these people walking around, and I see their kids on phones or iPads, and I think, our generation, like Ben, me and you, 2000s, late 90s or early 2000s and whatever, these people, a lot of them are addicted to phones right now, you know.
Yeah.
And when they were kids, they were doing things differently, but now they're addicted to phones, you know. But at least we sort of had a choice, you know. I'm not addicted to my phone. I feel like I've got a choice. But these babies and these toddlers who are growing up now, they sort of don't even have a choice. It's just pushed in their face, and then the parents aren't doing anything about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
I just looked up something really sad, because the last time I checked, Morgs had 3.5 million quid. It said his net worth was. And this was like months and months ago. I mean, he was a millionaire at 16. This is appalling. But it's the fans' fault they watch him. But now it says Morgs is a British YouTube channel that has a net worth of $8.1 million as of January 2020. I mean, this is horrible. This is mental. I'm going to look up $8.1 million in pounds. It's still quite a lot. Dollars.
Yeah.
In dollars to pounds. So he's got 6.2 million. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke, isn't it? How did he get that much? Bloody hell.
Sometimes I mean, I think to each their own, I guess. But sometimes I'll think like, I have to work so hard for my money, and this dude will just be like raking it in and retiring at like 20 or something.
But I thought you didn't work part time yet.
No, but like
Oh,
eventually.
sorry. Oh, you mean in the future? I was confused.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No, at the moment, yeah, they're probably, could work harder, but yeah.
It is what it is, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But with Morgs, you know, it's ridiculous, really, how much money he's on. His videos aren't even that good, really. You know, all these all these YouTubers who are making quality content and barely getting any attention, and then Morgs is raking in all these views. You know, it's ridiculous. But it's like James Charles. How did he get 20 million bloody subscribers? I mean, we did slag him off on the first few podcasts because, you know, Aaron was telling me news and I was reacting to it, and then I thought, oh, this is horrible what James Charles is doing. But then we found out that a lot of it wasn't true. So then we apologise, even though he's never going to be watching this. Then we apologise to him in the next one.
Yeah.
But even with that being said, how has he got so many subs? Like, I'm not having a go. I don't have anything against him. I'm not against the beauty community. I'm all for people doing what they want to do and being themselves and all that. But like, the content is really, really basic. Like, maybe one section can be him putting makeup on, then the next part of the video can be, this is how you do this, and these are the things I buy. I don't know. Because as I said, people, they travel around the world and people pay hundreds of pounds for the tickets to go and see him put makeup on. And it's like, you can watch him do this on YouTube! You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, people who do that have more money than sense, don't they, really?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's madness. It is absolute madness. I mean, like MMA shows I go and see. What annoys me is that a lot of these amateur boxing shows and some of these things are like, amateur things are like 35 quid to get seats and 25 for standing. Some of them are 45 quid, which is ridiculous. Bellator Birmingham was only 40 quid, and that card was amazing, crazy. I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but it's weird how amateur shows that the quality is nowhere near as good and the atmosphere is nowhere near as good. Costs like sometimes 5 quid more, but then Bellator, the big show, is like bloody 5 quid less. Crazy.
Yeah.
It was the seats that we were sitting in, though. We wasn't near the front or anything, but still, the atmosphere.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I think you have that money. You could go and see the Rolling Stones play. You know, you could travel. I don't know. It just seems like.
Yeah, you can travel somewhere. You can.
But that's the thing. I mean, I think it's like, it's that like age group that's like impressionable and thinks that's the entertaining thing.
Yeah. So, a few more things about advertising then. Are you prepared to, like, move to London or... Because it seems like the main places you're going to go for advertising, the big cities in England are Birmingham, which is like an hour away, or London, which is hours and hours away, but obviously you've moved there. Are you prepared for this? Because cities are very, very rough.
I'll tell I'll tell you what I got told by my lecturer when I asked him a similar question. Because we went to look at another agency in London in our first year. And obviously I had these thoughts like, okay, if I'm going to make it in this industry, do I have to live in London? Just because the prices to live there are quite,
Quite high, yeah.
Yeah. So I asked him, I said, like, what are actually, like, places you can, work there? And he said that there are 4, like, major cities in the UK for advertising. And that's Birmingham, Bristol, London, and Manchester.
Go for Bristol, man. Go for Bristol.
And I thought, that was my thought. I thought, okay, I'll have Bristol or Birmingham, I think. But I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna work in London just because it's not really for me.
London is too manic, bro. London is too manic.
It really is, honestly. Like, the tube at rush hour is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, imagine, working 9 till 5. You'd have to get up at bloody 6 to get on the tube, to get a space on the tube and get to work.
Yeah, whereas, I mean, Bristol's just got that kind of, like, I've also got, like, extended family there, so that's quite good.
Yeah, Bristol's well good, man. Bristol's well good.
Nice.
It seems.
Birmingham has the advantage of, like, it's near me. And
yeah, but the problem, the problem is with, Birmingham is nowhere near as bad as London if you look on the news or stories or crime things, because London's bigger. But Birmingham still isn't really, as we always say, cities, unless you like the manic, rush around life, cities aren't really the best thing, really, especially big cities, But if you like the cities, fair play. I'm not begrudging anyone who likes cities or anything. They're just, just not for me. But Bristol is quite a laid-back city, it's quite good, really. Bit of crime here and there, but you got the King of the North, Callum's Corner, so
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, it just has that nice kind of feel about it. Like, I remember in the summer I went down there with a mate, and we went to this kind of restaurant pub on the water bit, like on a nice sunny day.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'd work somewhere like this. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've heard that, like...
You've still got to come back up to the West Midlands for drinks sometimes, bro. You've got to sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I heard that Bristol's a bit more production-based. So, like, the people who make the ads as opposed to, like, agencies coming up with them. But then I thought, it's...
Right, it is today, and since you got a little bit
Oh, no, I thought that was your dad coming in then, and I thought, when was Ben's dad American?
The TV. But, yeah, I mean, I think I think for me it's either Bristol or Brum. At the moment, we're trying to look for placements, like mini ones, kind of to like a week or 2 weeks in an agency to get a bit of experience under our belts. And at the moment, I'm trying for either Bristol or Birmingham. Haven't had so much luck with the former, yes, but I haven't looked at that many places.
Yeah. Well, fair play, man. Great discussion about advertising. Have you got anything else you want to add, or?
No, I think that's a good chat there.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Pretty good one. See you in the next one.
Cheers.